Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 179, season 8. Today's date is November 27, 2022. And thank you for joining me today and welcome for another interesting show. On today's program, I will talk about vintage Chicago Christmas store catalogs. That's a tongue twister. And I'll talk about some catalogs that I remember when I was a kid from department stores, toy stores, independent stores. That'll be a lot of fun. Also, I'll talk about the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman that's in the comics. And that was a big event back then in 1992. So I'll discuss my memories of that. Also, I'll do a tribute to actress Irene Cara. She just passed away yesterday. I think it was a couple of days ago, or they announced her death yesterday. So I will talk about my memories of her, and also other memories of the day after Thanksgiving of what I do now and what I did back then. So I have how would I say it? A full show to do. Oh boy, that's I had too much turkey. Yeah, it was a nice Thanksgiving. It really was with my family. Okay. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Norelco Razor Electric Shavers. This commercial, everyone probably remembers this one. I don't know if they still play it on TV. It's where Santa Claus is riding a Norelco Razor, shushing down the hills and the mountains and going through the snow. It's lovely. It's been on the air since the 70s. So sit back and enjoy it, and I'll be right back with the program. Thank you, everyone.
Christmas is a time for closeness, and closeness is what Norelco razors are all about. The shiny new silver rotary razors in cord and rechargeable models with 36 blades, 9 closeness settings, and no gotchas. And the Ladybugs, the ladies' razors that really work. And the Ladybug Salon, a ladybug razor plus 11 grooming attachments. Norelco, even our name says Merry Christmas.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 40% off select styles, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial from Norelco, razors, electric razors. I remember this commercial very well, and so does a lot of people my age or older. They showed this during the holiday season, Christmas specials, TV specials, that is. Like, for example, Charlie Brown Christmas. Can't think of others ones. I don't know if they showed it like on other TV stations on NBC or ABC, probably. Like, for example, during Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman. I talked about those specials last year on my podcast. I'll see. Maybe I'll talk about them again because I talk about my memories of that. The product is still around, but now it is owned by a Philips company. They they dropped I think they dropped the Norelco. I think they still sell this Norelco and Philips. Or it's Norelco Philips or Philco. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I used this electric shaver when I was younger, when I started shaving. But I like the straight razor, with the shaving cream and all that stuff. But this was very handy when you have 5 o'clock shadow and you're in a hurry and you want to go somewhere. I still have. I bought one a long time ago. It's in the drawer. I haven't used it. I used it once, and that's it. But it still works, so that's good. So we'll see about that. And like I said, I don't know if they still play this commercial. I haven't seen it, but maybe it's early. We'll see. Maybe when Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they'll broadcast that. They'll show the commercial. That's it's a good show. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I said I will talk about vintage Chicago Christmas store catalogs, also the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman and the DC Comics, also a tribute to Irene Cara, the actress and singer, that is, and also my memories of day after Thanksgiving. Okay, I'll talk about that first. Usually, what people do after the day of Thanksgiving, after eating so much food, you need to be active and move around. I can understand that. And the main thing people do is go shopping, go to the mall or do that. And it's very crowded, which I dislike. I don't like crowds. They make me nervous. I avoid that. One long time ago, this was in the 80s. I did something foolish. I went to downtown Chicago, just to see how it was back the day after Thanksgiving. And I went to Water Tower Place in Chicago on Michigan Avenue, and it was packed. Oh, it was packed. Marshall Fields was crowded. The mall. It's a beautiful mall, but outside there was loads of people walking back and forth on Michigan Avenue. It was beautiful, but it's too much for me. So I try to avoid that from now on. If I want to buy something, I'll do it. What people do today is online. You buy something, but I like to go to a store. I really do. That's kind of that's nice to do that. Other people decorate their homes. They bring in the Christmas decorations. I don't do that. My mother has a tradition. I don't know where she got this from. Somebody told her, or it was her idea, that we start decorating the house the second week of December, like around the 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th, around there. We've done this all our lives, and well, that's fine. But sometimes in December it gets cold and it's snowy, and then so does November. It does that, but this was an exception. It was this weekend was beautiful, and you can decorate outside or you can do inside. Some people do, like I said, they do decorate the day after Thanksgiving. They get started, they unpack their stuff, decorate the house outside, or they go out and get a Christmas tree. They'll go buy one. I don't do that. I have a plastic one. It's an artificial in the garage, which is fine. And we'll see when we'll decorate. I don't think this week, probably the following week. And some people do it early. I don't know, even before Thanksgiving. That's a little odd. No, I don't do that. I think they do this because they want to keep busy, or they're depressed. They want just because they're in the Christmas spirit. It's nice because Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love it. It's my favorites. Thanksgiving is second. We had and then also we have leftovers. We had that last night, Saturday night. And then we'll have it again Monday. That's the last, and that's it. I don't want to see another turkey for a while. Like that. And I took a picture of our dinner, and I posted on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. People love seeing that. You notice my mother has the spanakopita. She has the spinach pie. So that's the only Greek dish was there, because we didn't have anything. But a lot of Greek people I know, they bring Greek dishes, which is fine, but it's not really Thanksgiving. But some people don't even eat turkey. They have lamb. I mean, why? Traditionally, you eat at Christmas or Easter, especially Easter, but not on Thanksgiving. I don't know. I guess some people don't like turkey. You can have roast beef. You can have ham. Do that, but mostly it's turkey. Or you have the sides like that. Because you have cranberry sauce, the sweet potatoes. I like the can. I don't like lumpy stuff in fruit. So that's fine with me. Let's see what else. Stuffing. People call it dressing. I call it stuffing. I think dressing is from the East Coast, I imagine. Now, sometimes you make it with ground beef or sausages or bread, you know. And you whatever you put in. You put in sausages, bacon, oysters, walnuts, apples, whatever recipe, whatever is like. My mom puts chestnuts and ground beef. It's delicious. Oh, I love it. That's one of my favorites, you know. And then when Thanksgiving weekend is over, you go back to work, you go back to school, you know, and your stuff. And then for the entire month, you eat because Christmas is coming. You prepare that, you know, make Christmas cookies. You have candy, you know, like peppermint and all that. Whew. You know, can't lose weight. I tried. It's very hard. I have lost weight, but I have a feeling it's creeping back up. So I haven't exercised in a while because when I went for the bone scan last month in October, there's I think there's some pain in my rib. So I'm afraid to do something physical. So I don't want to get a fracture. So I want to take it easy. It hurts once in a while, but I'm okay. All right. Next up, I will talk about Irene Cara. And she passed away on November 25th. So that was Friday. And she was 63 and so young and so unexpected. And I remember she was a actress and singer. She was famous for her role as Coco Hernandez in the 1980 musical film Fame. I never saw Fame. I saw parts of it, but not the whole movie. I should go back and watch it, you know. And but there was a TV series. She was not in that. And where I first saw her was on the TV show Electric Company. She was a member of the band, the Short Circus. I don't know if people remember that. I talked about the Electric Company on a podcast episode last year for the 50th anniversary, and she was there. But I didn't know who she was then, you know, and until she got famous. Then she appeared in TV shows, and then she started singing, recording albums, and then all of a sudden she did Fame, and then the movie Flashdance came out in 1983, and that was the soundtrack of that. And let's see, so it starred Jennifer Beals, which I saw her one day at City Hall in the late 80s. She was walking in the hall because I worked there at the time, and she looked very pretty. You know, she's still acting to this day. You know. Then, you know, the movie came out in 1983, and I first saw it at the Chicago Ridge Mall Theater. I didn't see it at Fort City. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't have it, or Evergreen Theater. So I saw that, and it's okay. It's not a flash. It doesn't look film. It didn't film well, you know, like that. And it was but the music in the movie was wonderful, and of course the theme song "Flashdance" or "What a Feeling," you know, "What a Feeling" was performed by Irene Cara, and you know, when you heard that song, it's like it just grabs you. You can't forget it. You know, it's wonderful, and you know, that's great. You know, and then it became very popular on the radio. They played it all the time. I listened to it, you know, and I still love this song to this day. I really do. And so I remember Irene Cara, she performed that song on MTV, you know, when MTV played music. Also, Solid Gold. Remember the TV series Solid Gold? It was on WGN TV Channel 9, and it was syndicated, and they had the Solid Gold dancers, and they were dancing, and then they brought in recording artists, and they performed the songs. And I found that on YouTube, and I remember watching that when it aired. when Irene Cara performed. She performed that. And she was mesmerizing. I love that song. You just can't forget. I never bought the soundtrack, but other famous song in there was, of course, not just Flashdance, but also Maniac by Michael Cimbello. That's his name, And he had a one-hit wonder. I don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. And then when they had the Oscars, that song won an Oscar for Best Song of the Year, which is pretty amazing. And I remember Irene Cara, accepting the award. I think she did. And then she was on her way to stardom. And then she had other hits, Breakdance. Yeah, and that was during the breakdance era. They had, like the movies Breaking and Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. I saw Breaking. I saw that, but that was huge. I think still people still do that. They still breakdance, not as often as back then. Okay, and Irene Cara had continued to act, and she still recorded. And let's see, she also appeared in DC Cab with Mr. T. I remember that. Also, City Heat, and also a movie called Certain Fury. It was not a big hit, but it started with Tatum O'Neal, and I remember this movie when it came out. I never seen it. I like to see it there. And she did voiceovers on other movies like All Dogs Go to Heaven. And then I didn't see her lately. So she was maybe she retired or took it easy like that. And let's see. So right now I'm going to play a commercial that features Irene Cara. I found this on YouTube, and it's a Timex watch commercial. And she's the if you try to listen to her, she's in she's not the first two women in the commercial. She's the next one, so you would hear her voice. She's with her mother. So this commercial is from 1977. It features Irene Cara in the Timex watch for Timex watch. So sit back and listen. Thank you, everyone.
I love my dressy watch, but it's too fancy for tennis.
Now's the right Timex to give her a new watch, like a sporty Timex.
It's perfect. This watch was great for school, Mom, but now it's too casual for the office.
Now's the right Timex to give her a new watch, like a classic Timex.
I love it.
With all she does, she could always use a new watch, so give her the Timex she doesn't have. Sporty, classic, or dressy, they're all beautifully affordable. It's always the right Timex to give her a new watch.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. From streaming to shopping, Prime helps you get more out of your passions. So whether you're a fan of true crime or prefer a nail-biting novel from time to time, with services like Prime Video, Amazon Music, and fast free delivery, Prime makes it easy to get more out of whatever you're into or getting into. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to learn more.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial. It features Irene Cara. If you try to recognize her voice, she's a very pretty lady, a good singer, good actress. It's a shame she passed away. And a lot of people remembered her, from Fame and from Flashdance. Yeah, so I only seen Flashdance once. I've never seen it again. Who knows? Maybe I'll watch it, and then I'll try to watch Fame. We'll see about that. Maybe on video, maybe on cable. Who knows? So, my deepest condolences to her family. She was one of a kind. Okay. Next up, I will talk about the death of Superman. Now, this is unusual. Why am I talking about this? That's Chicago related. It sort of is for me. So that was a crossover story event in DC Comics. It started in about October 1992, around there, or September. And the comic book writers decided to, why don't we just kill him? Because he wasn't doing very well. He was not popular as he wasn't in the old days, like in the 50s and the 60s, 70s, because of the TV show we used to watch all the time. Because there were other heroes introduced that were more popular, they used a little more violence, and they thought Superman was a goody two shoes, but he was a very powerful guy. So, the story was there was an alien. He was trapped in some steel cage, like that, and he kept trying to break out. And they showed the panels in the 4 issues before. He had Superman 4 titles at the time. And the last panel they show him, he tried to break out. And then on, I think well, I'll look it up. Let's see. Doomsday, they showed his full appearance on Superman, the Man of Steel in number 18. That's what I think it was. And he appeared for a couple months, and then he caused destruction all over the metropolis where Superman lives and all over the world. And then the Justice League tried to stop him. They couldn't, and I think one was killed. I try to remember. That was a long time ago. And then on Superman 75, that's the issue. That's when Superman was killed. He was dead. And the whole world was in mourning until January. And then they stopped publications on those 4 Superman titles for a while. Then it resumed. So the titles was Doomsday. That was the arcs. Next was Funeral for a Friend. And that lasted started from January 1993 all the way to June. So Superman was nowhere in sight. And the last arc, it started in June through October 1993, was the Reign of the Supermen. So there were 4 Supermen claiming to be Superman. And that's what it was. So the 4 guys were, one was Steel. His name was John Henry. He wore a suit of armor and he wielded a hammer. He's still in the comics. And I think Shaquille O'Neal portrayed him in the movie. Also, there was a cyborg Superman. He was half man, half robotic, but he was a bad guy. And he destroyed a city. And he was really an astronaut that got killed. And he was brought back to life. The other one was Superboy. They thought it was Superman reverted to a boy, but it was a clone. He was a clone, and he was so he's still around in the comics. Also, there was the Eradicator. He was an alien, but he was sort of a bad guy, but he was an anti-hero, so it wasn't him. So those 4 were not Superman. And then Superman was brought back to life at the end, and then he wore but his hair got longer. that was the style back then, and he wore a black suit, and then he, like I say, returned to the living, and then everything was fine. My Chicago memories of this particular story event was I pre-ordered the comics, Death of the Superman, and it came in a black bag. And there were 2. There was the deluxe edition and the regular edition. I pre-ordered both, and I pre-ordered this at Moondog's Comic Land store at Fort City Mall, down in the Connection where Peacock Alley was. They had a store there. It was a chain of comic book stores at the time. It was owned by Gary Colabuono. I can't pronounce his name. I'm Facebook friends with him. He's a very nice man. He doesn't own those anymore. And I pre-ordered it. And at one day after work, I rushed to the store to pick it up. I was so excited. It was there. And I picked them up, and I had the bag. And you know what? The bag is still unopened. I don't think I opened it. No, I don't think so. So I think I took 2 copies. I have to search it. I haven't looked at them in a long time. So I have the regular edition and the deluxe. So I think I have the bag that's unopened, and that's probably worth a lot of money. It probably is, And it had what I remember had an armband, and they had a poster of all the DC comic heroes. A few were carrying his coffin, and they had the funeral like that. And when I looked at the poster, it was so sad. At the time, I thought he was gone. He was not coming back. It was very touching. And this year, I think this month, they had the 30th anniversary, and the original creators wrote a new story. I haven't read it yet. I bought the comic, so I'm going to read that. And they had a bag edition of that too. Okay. Maybe I'll buy that someday. We'll see. So I bought that. And so the original one that was released in 1992, I still have it. I'll treasure that. I'm not going to sell it, because that's a keepsake. It really is. So Superman is still around. He's a very popular guy. They made more TV shows. They made more movies. With Henry Cavill, he's a good Superman. The best Superman, of course, on TV was George Reeves. He was the best also. But in the movies, Christopher Reeve. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful actor. He was. I saw the movie came out in 1978 at Fort City. It was magical. Magical. I loved it. It's too bad he passed away. Okay. Next up, this is the last topic I will discuss is Chicago Christmas store catalogs. I made a video last year at this time, and it showcased all the catalogs in Chicago. There were Christmas, and there were covers. So if you want to catch it on YouTube, you can find it on, just type in the search engine, Vintage Chicago Christmas catalogs, or type my name. You'll see the channel, and you will find the video. I will post the video later on today after I post the podcast, so for people to be reminded like that. And I put it together. People loved it. I put some Christmas music. It's so beautiful. Right now, I'll talk about what I remembered from the catalogs, seeing my memories, and looking glimpses of that. And I remember Marshall Fields. They had a beautiful catalog, one for clothes or appliances or electronics. They also had separate for the toys. They had that. Carson Pirie Scar had something similar like that. They had toy catalogs, clothes catalogs. J.C. Penney's, it's still around. What else? Weebles. They had the toy book catalog. They had that. Also, the most famous one is Sears. Right now Sears is not really around, but their catalog was huge. It was big, and excuse me. And I remember seeing that they had their toys. It was called the Wish Book. That was for the kids, and the toys. Beautiful. I posted that a few days ago on Van Chicagoland. People remembered it. They still love it. It did return. It stopped around, I don't know when it stopped, in the 90s, I guess. And then it returned recently, before Sears closed all their stores. That's terrible. Also, let's see. Montgomery Ward had a Christmas catalog. Trying to think of other departments. Zayre, I don't think they had a catalog. No, they didn't have that. There was a few companies in Chicago, like Alden's. They had a catalog. Radio Shack, Children's Bargain Town had one. McDade's catalog, they had that. Service Merchandise, they had a Christmas catalog. That was beautiful. W. Bell and Company, they had that one too. That was a nice store. Can't think what else. Dispenser's Castle Toys. They had a catalog. Yeah. I miss that toy store. That's a great store. And there were others. And what you had to do was, you receive a catalog in the mail, or you pick one up at the store and you would choose, and then you order. And then you would either visit there at their store, or you mail in like that, and then you go pick it up, or it's shipped to you, just like Amazon. Yeah, but it's different now. Now stores don't have that. Macy's, no, they don't have that. When they took over Marshall Fields, you don't see catalogs anymore. Oh, another one I thought of is S&H Green Stamps. Remember that? Oh, their catalogs were beautiful. They had a lot of stuff, especially Christmas time. It's beautiful. And then, like when you get your green stamps, when you go to a grocery store, for example, AMP or National, that distribute, like Magicist for the carpet company. And then you would take the stamps and, glue them. You would either use your tongue or use your glue, and you stamp them. And you go to the Redemption Center. Mostly Weebills had that. I remember Fort City had one in their basement. And so that was a lot of fun. It really was. Excuse me, I'm coughing like that. So that's why I put the video together last year. It was very nice, and people loved it. So I'll repost it again later on today after I post the podcast. Okay. So during the month of December, I post a lot of Christmas posts. That's what I do on Vanish Chicagoland. That's a tradition for me, and people look forward to that. I started on the day after Thanksgiving, for example, store decorations or like that. The best one thing I want to mention, that when Polk Brothers was in business, of course, I don't think they had they didn't have a catalog. They had sales flyers in the newspaper. And they used to advertise the Santas and the snowmen, and those are hard to find, but you can find something similar like that. And so you could do that. And if you go to an antique store, you find it on eBay, grab it. Those are very rare. I was thinking of doing that. It'd be kind of cool to have an original Polk Brothers Santa or snowman. Okay. All right, then that'll be all for today. I'll do a recap of what I discussed on the show. I talked about the Chicago Christmas Store catalogs, also the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman from DC Comics, also singer and actress Irene Cara, and my memories of the day after Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving weekend is ending today. Oh boy. And then we got Christmas coming up. I will do another podcast episode perhaps Tuesday. So I'll start doing more Christmas stuff, in December. Probably other things mixed in. And once this podcast episode is published, it'll be available wherever podcasts are. Like, for example, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Amazon Music. You can also find it on my YouTube channel under Vanish Chicagoland Stories. It's also my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. A lot of people have told me they like listening on YouTube. It's easier that way. They don't want to listen on the phone. I mean, I think younger people do that. You could do that as well, but people like me, older or same age, they rather go to YouTube, and then you can click on the episode and then listen whenever you want, anywhere you like. That's very convenient. Okay. So this is Pete Costanas, your host of Vanish Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me again. I had a wonderful time. Be sure to listen to the next episode, and please subscribe to all the podcast episodes at your convenience. So take care, everybody. And here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye-bye for now. So here's bye-bye for me. Take care, everyone. So long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.